Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. Today we're taking the show on the road. So we're going to have a very interesting episode, we hope. If today is the first time you're visiting with us, we want to extend to you a very warm welcome and invite you to watch any of our over 500 videos that we have arranged for your convenience in playlists, as we are confident you're going to find something both useful and entertaining to watch. If you have been here before, welcome back. If today is your birthday, we want to wish you a very happy birthday. So today we're going to take the show to Elpida's apartment because she has a small project that she needs our help with. So we dug out our reasonably filthy.
Loved.
Well, it is really not very dirty, it's just covered in dust because we haven't used it for a while and it has been in the shop. And I didn't think of cleaning it before we start going today, but we need a couple of items we're going to put with us what we think we need to finish this project. And we're going to get on the road. So stick around, and today we're going to work on a project that will allow, in any environment, it can be an apartment, you don't have to own the place or your house. If you live in an older house that doesn't have very good windows, either single pane windows or drafty windows, we're going to build simple frames that will allow you to improve the efficiency of your windows, right? Is that correct?
Right, and for energy conservation with heating and cooling.
But it will be renter friendly again because it will be totally removable with absolutely no damage to the building.
Definitely with the goal of reducing your electric bill.
So stick around and we're going to show you how to do that. So we're taking a few things with us. We're taking our favorite clamps. Well, they've become our favorite, right? We bought them because they were very cheap and probably they are the clamps we use a lot or the most. And I'm taking two saws. I don't remember if one is better than the other, but so we're not taking a lot of things. Elpida is on her way to the store to buy material, and she has a drill, and she has beads, and she has the rest of the material we need. She doesn't have these items, so we're also going to add a non-traditional woodworking tool, and that's a hairdryer, right?
Yeah.
But that should be all we need, so stick around.
This is our helper because it's his room.
She's going to make things 5 times slower.
And now the star of the show.
Right.
What are you doing?
Aren't you so cute?
What are you doing, dog?
He is doing a ballet, didn't you know? It's called Dog Lake.
Mm-hmm. See? Yes, they're cute. Oh, nobody's rubbing your belly? There. There. Oh, no? Okay. There. Is that better?
This is the perk of doing an indoor project. Woo!
All right.
All right, friends, and we are here in Elpida's apartment, and not every project you're going to do is going to be very elaborate, but the idea behind homesteading is to do things that either make the space you live better, more aesthetically pleasing, or provide some return, reduce your bills, and so forth. This is one of those projects. As we can see in this apartment, the windows are not very well insulated. They're a little drafty. And you will find that in older houses, if you have an older house with single pane windows, or in apartments. So we're going to build an energy efficient way that is also non-permanent. We can remove it. That will allow us to have a greater comfort in the apartment and also save some money in electricity. And our material is very simple. We're going to use some lengths of this, and this is a 1x2.
Yes, an 8-foot 1x2.
So a 3/4 by 1.5.
Yes.
Right.
And then we're going to use, at least the plan right now is we're going to use some of this pipe insulation, and we're going to put it around this so we can, in essence, friction hold
And
in the
gaps.
window. And fill gaps, make it more efficient. So we're going to start. This is a project that we designed it for everyone to be able to build. We're not going to use many power tools, but just a drill, which most everyone has in their house, and a handsaw with a miter box. And if you don't have those things, they are routinely available for most places for about $8. Walmart has them, and Lowe's has them, and Walmart has them. I said Walmart already, and Home Depot has them. So nothing expensive here, and again, even if you don't have the material, they're fairly inexpensive to get. We got our one of the two, the other one I had, but the yellow one we're going to use today, the box and the saw were $8, so it is not an expensive proposition. So stick around, we're going to get set up and we're going to start.
Okay, so I took measurements of all 4 of the windows in the apartment, and the one that we're working on right now, raw measurements were 34 6/8 on the top and bottom, and 58 1/2, give or take a 1/8 inch measurement on both of the sides. And so now accommodating on the top and the bottom for the thickness of the foam, we're subtracting 1 inch because each side is going to have a 1/2 inch give. That's going to give us a 33 3/4 inch measurement for our top and bottom board.
So that's the width.
Yes, top and bottom board. And then for the sides, we have to accommodate the thickness of the top and bottom boards as well as the foam. And so we're going to subtract the 2.5 inches for all of that because each of the board has a 3/4 inch thickness. And then again, the 1/2 inch on either side for the foam. And that's going to give us a 56 inch measurement.
So the only unknown right now that we have to build at least one to check is the compressibility of the foam.
Right, and how much that actually seals all the way around. But if this one works, then it's going to work on 2 of my other windows because those have essentially the same measurements. My living room window has a much wider measurement, but the same height. So we've calculated for that as well, but we're going to get started on this first one and see how well our measurements work.
Okay. So clearly this is a project we have to measure. So we calculated that each of those boards will give us 1 height and 1 width, right?
Yes.
And then after we cut the 2 pieces, we're going to cut 2 identical pieces for the next one.
Yes.
So we're going to get in doing that.
I think we'll cut this one.
Right, we have to cut it because for the curve.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get into cutting the first piece and we're going to get with you. Again, we're going to use no power tools for the cutting. We're going to use a router box, a miter box. I don't know what a router box is. A manual router. That's a new tool. All right, we'll be back with you. Do you need help? Elpida decided to do it herself, so.
James.
And one of the other advantages of a manual saw is it doesn't create as much sawdust as a power saw would. And since we're doing this indoors because North Carolina is not as warm this winter as last winter, that was our first winter, it will be nice that we don't have to worry about it, right?
Let's maybe measure from that and that way we can cut with the box this way since we're already set up.
Okay, again, some projects you cannot avoid measuring, and this is definitely one of these projects. And then we're only going to measure this once, and we're going to use those pieces as our measuring stick for the last 2 pieces.
But we're also going to do a test fit before we cut anymore.
So we're going to finish our cutting, and we are going to get back with you. So once again, we're going to use our favorite corner clamps, and this is a great project for this. We're going to assemble it fully first, and then we're going to use our drill and attach it to create our frame. So we're going to do that, and we're going to get right back with you. Right, ladies?
Right, yep.
So we have applied the 4-corner clamps in all 4 corners, as makes sense, right?
Yes.
And now we're going to move the piece on a table so it will be a little higher, and we are going to make pilot holes and then drill in each corner. Thank you, James. James decided to make it.
He's checking it
He
out.
has to be part of the process.
He walked straight into the frame.
Quality assurance, that's his job.
So let us get set up and we're going to continue. Right, okay.
Okay.
There.
So what we're doing is going ahead and drilling the pilot hole for each corner, and then going ahead and putting in the screw to help keep things aligned, because these are smallish boards and they don't always want to stay aligned as well as we would like.
And if you had 2 of the beats, of the drills, it will go a little faster.
Yeah.
But again, it is not a problem.
Here we go.
I have it.
Okay. Second one.
Hang on. We need at least 2 pieces of that corner on the table.
And that needs to align a little bit better. Yeah, oops. Second pilot hole done.
Now the reason we're not making all the holes first, in case you're wondering, is because this will be easy to misalign as we move it a little bit, even with the clamps on, and then the holes will not serve any purpose and will allow us to split the wood.
Right, and we don't want to split the wood.
Where now the holes, because they are correctly aligned, all right. So we put the pipe insulation around in this case this is the length, right?
Yes.
Or the height.
Yes.
And we have to cut it to the appropriate size, of course. And then we're going to do our first fit and hope everything works. Now, if it fits, we have to remove again the insulation, put the
Plastic.
film on, and then reinstall it. But all right, we're going to do that. We're going to cut it the correct dimension, and we're going to show you the finished product. So we're using pipe insulation here, and we are just wrapping it around the frame.
And these come already split down the middle to make it easy to wrap around pipes. Is that matching up there? I just need to trim a little bit.
Well,
This needs to come.
yeah,
Maybe
put it
just
where
there.
you want it, and then we'll cut the rest off over here.
So what I've done here is tried to align this with the edge of the rounded so that they'll both be compressed in the same way and hopefully prevent any gaps from being in this corner area.
And this is not visible, by the way. This will be inside the frame of the window, so you won't see this.
Right.
All
But
right.
again, instead of pushing it to where it would be even with the wood, as you can see in here, I've pulled it out to where it's even with the foam so that it prevents any gaps.
Right.
Which is, of course, we're trying to seal the window to prevent air leak.
So our dry fitting went well. Unfortunately, now we have to take it out again and continue with the process, but is that looking good for you?
I think it looks really good. You can barely see any sort of...
Well, there are no gaps. It does a very good job.
Yeah, I think that I was seeing some initially, but it kind of expands back out once
Right.
you get it in place. And these have nice deep wells, so this will fit back in and I can still accommodate a curtain or something in this room.
Yeah. So this looks good. We're going to move into the next step.
Right. So here we're putting on some, is this double-sided tape?
Yes, double-sided tape.
We're putting it right on the wood, right along the edge, so that we have something for our insulating material.
Right, and again, we're just using what you...
Yep.
A lot of people are familiar with this shrink kit for your windows, but rather than putting it on directly on the window, we're building a frame so it can be used again.
Yeah.
So that installation is just going to be the same as you would.
Hi.
Now we're going to go all the way around the 4 sides. Are we going to do this on both sides?
Yes, because it's going to form a pocket of air to help insulate.
So a front and a back pane, if you will, if we were making a window. And, you know, we have company. It's always nice to have company when you're doing a project, right?
It's the supervisor.
Snoopervisor.
Oh, he is the snoopervisor. That's right. Well, thank you, sir, for making sure we do it right.
So now we are placing the film on the frame. And while I suppose a person can do it, 2 people working together make it easier, wouldn't you say?
Yes, for sure.
And I'm not sure there is a right and wrong way to do this. Elpida has the most experience with this process. Is there a right and wrong way to do that, Elpida?
There's no right and wrong way, but like you said, once you've done it a few times, then you get to learning just some of the better techniques.
It can be a bit quirky, right?
Yeah, it can be. And so, do you want to move it back this way? So what we're doing is working in tandem to just try to keep one of the things you definitely want to do is try to keep the film as taut as you can. Now you're going to use a dryer to straighten this up and get it really nice and tight, but initially you want to try to do as good a job as you possibly can. And you do have a little bit of leeway. It's double-sided tape. You can reposition some things as you're moving along. So now we've gotten 3 of the sides done and just need to work on the 4th.
So using a hair dryer, we're going to take all the wrinkles out of the film. And you need to be careful with that because you can overdo it and actually pull it off.
And one of the things we've done also is once you get the plastic in place the way you want it, kind of take your fingers and run down on it again just to press it more firmly into place to help it hold. And then you just take the dryer and start going.
So here on the bottom edge, we are going to put a little bit of not a handle, but a tab, so we can remove the frame when we are done at the end of the season. Because with the window having the film on, then it will be very hard to remove it from the window. So we're making a loop with just some, what is that?
It's just ribbon.
With some ribbon, and just a very simple device. We're going to attach it with a couple of staples on both sides because Elpida wants it on both sides, and that will allow us to easily remove it from the window. And now we're going to turn it over and do it on the other side. Right, ladies?
Mm-hmm.
Just so we're doing it on the same side.
Yeah.
You want it like this, through the plastic?
Why not? Okay. That needs to be tucked anyway.
And here is where a staple gun just shines, right?
No. You want it this way. No. Okay.
Isn't that how we did it? Oh,
No.
we did it this way.
Okay.
Ingenuity at work.
Yeah. So now, we'll put our foam pieces back on. And as we cut the shoulder side.
And I think this is a two-person job, right?
It definitely makes it easier.
So we'll do that all the way around, and we'll be able to then put it back in the window, right? Is that so? That the construction will end at this point. One of the good aspects about this project is that it can be done, as you can see, fully indoors. And if you live in a cold climate, which is when you will really need this.
And you haven't planned ahead.
Or in North Carolina, apparently. We thought it was a warm state.
It is most of the time.
It's warmer than Kansas, right?
It's for sure warmer than Kansas.
So we have placed it in our window. And Elpida, is that what you were envisioning?
Yeah, for sure. And you could definitely make it more aesthetically pleasing. You could do something like with the color of the foam or even the color of your frame if you wanted. For me, it's really just about energy efficiency. Because as we were placing this into the window well, we could feel the huge draft coming in. So I know this is going to help greatly with the temperature for the entire apartment.
Want to demonstrate the tabs?
Yeah. So the idea of the tab is that this is going to pull out very easily without damaging the plastic. And we've got one on either side so that we'll be able to pull that out and then it can come down.
Yep.
And it is a pretty snug fit, which is exactly what you want because you don't want the air coming around the window, coming out. So I think it's turned out very, very well, pretty much what I envisioned.
The thing we're going to do different on the remaining is we're going to put a middle piece. And we thought about it, but we didn't think it would be as big.
Right.
The actual film is pulling the sides a little bit.
And creating a little bit of a bow in the middle, which...
It is not huge, we can fix it with that's the advantage of having this.
Having the foam is that you can adjust it to fit around the frame to still do the seal. And I don't think visually you can even see it, it's just that we know it's there.
No. But that will be the only change we're going to make for the rest of them. Other than that, this is exactly what we were thinking we're going to do, right? We hope you did enjoy this episode. This is the end of our episode for today. Again, this is a project that virtually everyone can do. You need just even a manual screwdriver, I guess, will do it, but...
The drill makes it easier.
What do I listen to?
It sounds like wind or rain.
One of the interesting things is that this is amplifies the sound, right?
It's actually kind of sleet.
Sleet?
Snowy sleet, yeah.
Wow.
Actually, kind of hail. You could come look here.
With sun.
You can go out there if you want.
Welcome to the south.
This is weird.
I don't think you can see anything, but...
Well, you can see them on the rail of the fence.
Can you see them
piling up.
Yep.
So, interesting winter weather.
Nice. That is bizarre.
Okay.
Yes.
It's an ice storm in North Carolina.
With sunshine.
Well, that's unique.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, how much material you need per window, right? We need two
and a half. 2.5.
2.5 boards of 3. What are the dimensions?
It's a 1 by 2 by 8 foot board.
3/4 by 1.5 by 8. You know, and it is only 2.5 because we are going to add a middle point in the other 2 windows
For structural
integrity. We were discussing that you really don't have to per se. I would like to have it there. Elpida would like to have it there, but it's not a necessity, right?
Because this one's going to work just fine without it.
The foam insulation tends to take installing the first frame. We found out that what do you call it? I cannot remember words again.
The film.
The film is strong enough that introduces a light bow on our vertical members. So we decided to put a little bit of a reinforcement that will also add some character to the piece and will prevent it from bowing. So again, using our favorite real little clamps, our red clamps, we are using them to make sure we have good alignment here. and we measure the middle of the piece, and we are attaching just a simple. And I don't think it added anything, right? With not spares.
Yeah, they were cut offs.
Were cut offs that they could fit here, so we got lucky. But even if you're not, another piece would be all what you need, right?
Yeah.
All right, and we're just going to use a single screw to attach this. It doesn't need a lot of strength. Actually, any forces are going to make it tighter. This is not going to fall off. We're not really concerned about it.
No, it's just to keep the side pieces from bowing in.
So this is a minor adaptation. It's not really a big deal, right? Okay? It is okay. It's enough that it neutralizes it, but if you are a little bit OCD, like I am, you would like that, right? And how many of the...
It took 3 to do one window.
And they were 6 feet.
Yes, 6
So
feet.
not an 8-foot
Right.
plank like
It was a
you.
6-foot piece of foam, yeah.
That would only have taken 2 if it was
Right.
an 8-foot.
Now, our cost is $14 to $15 this year, which is 2021, January 2021, but it will be different based on your location and when you're watching this video. Wood in 2020 and 2021 has become very expensive. Actually, each one of those 1x, 2x8s was more expensive than what we used to buy 2x4s for. So wood is ridiculously expensive, which doesn't mean that you shouldn't do this project, because if you were to buy something like that, you will pay more anyway. I mean, material.
And long term, of course, it is to help with your electric bill, your heating bill. It's going to insulate your house better and help keep you more comfortable temperature.
So I don't, unless you have 100 windows, I don't think it's a very expensive project. In this apartment, this bedroom has 1 window. We're going to do 2 more windows and another bigger window that is a different dimension. So 4 windows total, you know, so it is a matter of how you view it. We are happy with how it turned. What do you guys think?
Plus, it's not a once-a-year expense.
Right.
These can be reused year over year, so
Right. And the
it's
only
an
thing
investment.
the only thing that you could potentially have to replace would be the plastic if you poked a hole in it, but that's fairly inexpensive to do because it is that shrink film.
Right. And sometimes even the dollar store have them.
I haven't seen them there, but maybe, yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of the Urban Homesteading channel. And if you did, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you didn't, the other button works as well. Share, like, subscribe if you have not done so, and let us know what else you might like to see in our channel. From Dr. Wizard, Mrs. Wizard, Elpida, and the Urban Homesteading channel, stay safe, wash your hands, put your masks on, and we're going to see you soon. Farewell, friends.